Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Vendo podcast. Excited to have you all here. I'm Nicholas Martinez, the Senior Marketing Strategist here at Vendo, and joined with me is Daria, our wonderful digital media buyer. Daria and I work closely together on a lot of off Amazon to Amazon strategies. Running Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, Pinterest, you name it, influencer marketing. And as you may or may not know, when you're running these off Amazon campaigns to Amazon, a big issue that comes about is how you can track your data, how you can track your sales attribution, how you can optimize your ads based on that data, and how you can own your customer, own their contact information, whether it's their email, their name, their phone number, you name it. That's a big issue with selling on Amazon. And if you understand how to offset some of the obstacles, you can prosper and grow on Amazon. So I'm really excited to be going over some of the different tools and tricks and tips that we leverage here at Vendo to help build out our customer data and track sales. So just to run through some of the topics we're going to talk about today, we're going to be talking about the Amazon Associates Affiliate Program, the Amazon Brand Store Source Tag feature, the Amazon Attribution Beta Program. We're going to talk about some third-party softwares or tools that we use, such as Zon Tracker, AMZ Shark, Pixelfy Me, Zapier. We're also going to talk about some landing page creators, such as Landing Cube. There's also AMZ Promoter, Zon Pages, and several others out there. And we're going to talk about some of the more traditional ways of tracking data, such as using discount codes. We'll just jump into it real quick and go over some of the ones that I just shouted out. First off, we've got the Amazon Associates Affiliate Program. And this was created, like the name states, as an affiliate program for affiliates to be able to drive traffic back to Amazon and earn a percent commission on any sale that they drive. But what a lot of people don't know is that brands can actually use this for themselves. So you can create an Amazon Associates account. You can create links going back to your products. And what's really neat is that you actually can earn anywhere between 5% to 10% and maybe even more. I think they've been releasing different percentages for categories, but bare minimum, you're going to earn 5% back on any sale that you drive from that link. So that's a really powerful reason to use an associates link. And then of course you can track sales that come from that link. Unfortunately though, the associates program only has a 24-hour attribution window. So that's not a lot of time compared to some of the other examples we're going to give. But keep in mind that 24-hour attribution window is just the time in which that person has to add your product to their cart. So as long as they add it to their cart within 24 hours, they actually have up to 90 days to finish that purchase, and that sale will still be attributed for. So Amazon Associates is a great way to drive traffic, earn commission, track sales. And one thing that I should point out about it is that technically, according to their terms, it's not supposed to be used for advertising. So using these links in your ads could cause your account through Amazon Associates to be shut down. And so we, to stay, within the white there, play by the white hat tactics, you most likely would only want to use it for organic purposes. A workaround though, which Daria and I will talk about later, is driving the ad to a landing page and then having that landing page redirect to Amazon through the Associates link. In addition to the Associates program, there's a couple other Amazon programs. There's the Brand Store Source Tag. So, if you have brand registry in Amazon, which you need a trademark for, if you have brand registry, you can create a brand store. It's like your own mini store within Amazon. And with that store, you can create a trackable link, kind of like a UTM link, that drives back to that brand store and tracks sales up to a 14-day attribution window. So really good way there if you're trying, especially if you're trying to create some brand awareness first, and you don't want to drive the person directly to the product page, drive them to the brand store. You can drive them to the home page, a product page, whatever page you want on the brand store, and you'll get a 14-day attribution window for that. And the third Amazon tool that you can leverage is a beta program called Amazon Attribution Beta. So not everyone has access to it. You can do a Google search and find it, and I think there's a waiting list, and you can always try to, get access early by opening a case or reaching out to any contacts you may have at Amazon. But what's cool about the Attribution Beta program is it basically helps offset the issue of not being able to put a pixel on your product page. So maybe Daria, before I explain a little bit more about attribution, if you want to just talk a little bit about what a pixel is in general for those of, for our listeners who don't know what a pixel is.
Yep. Hey, everyone. So Pixel is a tracker. It's basically a way, and every social media platform or advertising platform has its own pixel. Google has its own tracking code for Google Ads and Google Analytics. Facebook Ads has its Facebook pixel. Snapchat has a Snap pixel. TikTok has its own pixel, and Pinterest has its own pixel as well. So Pixel basically tracks the ad all the way from when it starts to the completion of the goal, whatever it is. If you want your audience to view your page or to do a certain action like purchase, so Pixel is basically a tracker.
Great. No, that was an awesome summary of it. I've heard people go on for a long time, including myself, trying to explain a pixel. But yeah, as Daria mentioned, pixels are very important with tracking data, and a lot of what we're talking about today could actually be solved pretty easily if Amazon would just allow us to put pixels on the product pages. But unfortunately they don't. So, we get to make, great podcasts like this to show you all the loopholes. But Amazon did come up with a program called the Amazon Attribution Beta Program, as I was mentioning. And the idea behind this is you can create kind of a trackable link in there that you then use on your different advertising platforms, and it tracks the data and pixelates the data. So that's a program, if you can get access to, definitely recommend giving it a go. That also has a 14-day last touch attribution window, similar to the brand store source tag, but a good method to attribute your data, and one that of course Amazon approves of. So those were 3 of Amazon's programs. We're going to talk now about some of the third-party tools that we use. And one that we've been using for a while now, I will admit we've used it off and on for a while now, like a couple years, is ZonTracker. ZonTracker.io, I believe, is the link. Dr. Yev over there, great guy. He developed it along with his team. Had the opportunity to speak with him several times, meet him in person. And, basically what he did was he created a communication between Amazon and Facebook ads, right? So again, going back to how we can't have a pixel on Amazon, that gets in the way of Facebook being able to track sales, track the customer's actions on that product page. If someone sees an ad on Facebook and they go and purchase on Amazon, how is Facebook going to know that purchase happened unless you're doing some type of manual uploading of contact information? Well, ZonTracker is meant to solve that. And what's really cool about ZonTracker is that it actually puts a column in your ad manager that says AMZ purchase conversion. So it shows you right then and there in that ad manager how many Amazon purchases you've gotten, the value of those purchases, and then the ads can actually optimize based on those purchases, which is, of course, is super critical to optimizing and strengthening your ads. So yeah, Daria, if you want to talk more about ZonTracker, how you use that for Facebook analytics, all that fun stuff.
Yep, definitely. ZonTracker is a magical tool. I'm so happy it has been created because, as you know, Facebook ads does not allow us, and Facebook Pixel does not allow us to attribute the sales that we're, whenever we're creating an ad for Amazon. So ZonTracker is a great tool for anyone who A, sells on Amazon, and B, uses Facebook ads to drive traffic to their Amazon. ZonTracker serves as a pixel, so it basically replaces Facebook pixel, so it's custom created pixel that works between Amazon and Facebook ads. By using ZonTracker, you can access all the data that you couldn't without it. So it's mostly, you can read, first of all, the audience data. You can know where the people are coming from, which cities, you can know their demographics, you can know their age, their geolocations. You can also use Zone Tracker for creating lookalike audiences. So you can use it for remarketing and retargeting, which is a very, which is basically a selling force of Facebook, right, to Amazon. So you can upload your customer data to Zone Tracker, and you can create custom audiences and lookalike audiences out of it. Remember that Zone Tracker only can track sales up to 28 days, which I think great enough, but it's just something to keep in mind. But Zone Tracker, yes, it's a great tool that serves as a pixel between Facebook and Amazon.
Excellent. Yeah, and I didn't realize that 28-day point. So glad you called that out. And I think something else to point out is, because Zon Tracker does rely on the contact information that it can access in Amazon, it is reliant on that, and thus it's only as successful as the data that it can get from Amazon. So as some of you may know, Amazon does not allow you to see a customer's email address. It does, however, allow you to see their name. And in a lot of accounts, it allows you to see their shipping address and their billing address. So Zon Tracker basically has to look at that information, the address and the name, and it has to try to match it with the information that it has in Facebook. And so there, as you can imagine, there's area for error there. And overall, what we've seen, and I think what Yev from Zon Tracker will say, is that the tool works about 70% of the time. We've seen more around 40 to 70% matching accuracy. But it's still going to be a lot better than not having it, because your ad's going to be able to optimize itself based on that data that it is getting. And then of course, all the other benefits that Daria mentioned, such as geo-targeting, repeat purchase info, so on and so forth. So, and just so you understand where you can get this information, it's in the all orders report, if you're in Seller Central. So you can download that report. Recommend downloading it as a CSV. What we've learned is that if you download it as an Excel, that customer contact information might not be there. But then if you download it as a CSV, miraculously, it just pops up. So little trick there, little golden nugget to get around that. And of course, you can use that customer information for all kinds of other marketing efforts. Of course, you want to, be up to date on Amazon's guidelines to make sure you're not, violating anything that in how you're using that data. But do know that you're likely going to go into kind of some gray hat tactics here by using this data, and that you can weigh the pros and cons of that. But yeah, so that's Zon Tracker and how it works with Facebook Analytics in specific. Google Analytics and Zapier. Daria, you've been doing some neat stuff in there. I haven't even heard all about it, so excited for this one.
Yep. So Google Analytics is the most used, I think, analytics tool for all of your web, for your website, for your Amazon, for any of your, let's say, web transactions. So whenever you have Google Analytics, you can access all of the data, how customers are coming to your website, or now we can also track how they're coming to our Amazon page. You can connect it through Zapier, which is another magical tool. Zapier basically, we can call it as a connector. So it creates zaps between programs and applications that you cannot actually connect. So let's say Google Analytics and Amazon Seller Central cannot talk to each other, but Zapier will be like a middleman and it will connect the zaps. So you can connect both of these applications. By using Google Analytics, you can access customer data. You can access, it's very sophisticated. So you can see where they shop, how they shop, because Google owns Gmail, Google owns Google Maps. We use everything Google these days. So you can see in segment audiences, you can see what other things people like, or what are they following and what they're searching for, right? So Google Analytics, it's a very, very useful tool. And by using Zapier, you can connect it to Amazon Seller Central, and you can track orders, Amazon orders. So you can see if people were buying on Amazon through Google Analytics. You can also track your goals. So you can create a goal. Let's say if your goal is set a certain page on Amazon, you can, through Google Analytics, you can see if people actually reached that page, or they completed that goal. And one of the workarounds here, because I think sometimes sending people directly from your ads to Amazon is not the best idea. So I think using landing pages would be great. And if you're using landing page, you can see all of the data through Google Analytics if you connect Google Analytics tag to that landing page.
Excellent. Yeah, and similar to how Daria just explained using Zapier with Google Analytics, we also use it with Facebook Ads Manager, and it kind of works in a similar way. But we also implement it with our Messenger ads, which we talked about in a previous podcast episode. But basically, let's say you're running a Facebook ad, and you want to distribute coupon codes, discount codes to the person who wants to purchase. Well, you can do that through Facebook Messenger. So you have the Facebook ad that goes to Facebook Messenger. The coupon codes are then distributed through that, and how they're distributed is by having a Zapier integration. And then Zapier is connected to Amazon, so that when that person uses that discount code on Amazon, Zapier then tells Facebook that that code was used, and now the Facebook ad can then optimize based on that sale. The Facebook Messenger flow can then take a different route. If someone made a purchase, then maybe you want to provide customer service, or you want to have a review follow-up. If they didn't make a purchase and Zapier tells you that, then maybe you want to follow up and give another discount code with a bigger percentage and some urgency behind it. So Zapier, yeah, as Daria mentioned, is really a magical tool that allows Amazon to communicate with Facebook ads and Google ads so that you can continually optimize for sales. And so definitely recommend looking into that. And how was your, when you were setting up Zapier, originally, Daria, how was that process? Did they provide support for you? Because I know it can be, some people run into issues with it, and it can be quite the headache.
Yeah, I think most of those tools like Zapier, ManyChat, Zone Tracker, they don't have a one-on-one customer support, but they have an amazing knowledge base. They have an amazing support system where you can talk to the community, you can ask questions. You can also, they also provide email support. The setup on Zapier is pretty simple, especially with Amazon Seller Central. All you have to do is to have all the information from your Amazon Seller Central on the token, and then whenever you connect Google Analytics, you just connect your account and you insert the tag. So it's pretty simple.
Great. And if you do run into issues, you know who to call. Oh yeah. Great. Well, I think that covers Zapier, and we just talked about discount codes as well. Obviously, discount codes are going to be your kind of OG way to track sales. You can always download the all orders report that I was mentioning earlier, and you can look at which discount codes were used manually, but Zapier will help automate a lot of that. So discount codes are always going to be a kind of a foolproof way to track sales when you are using them. But I think the only other tool that we haven't talked about yet is Pixelfy Me. Pixelfy Me is pretty neat because it actually combines some of the different tools we just talked about into one link. So Pixelfy Me leverages the Amazon Associates program for one. So if you remember at the beginning, we were talking about setting up an Amazon Associates program through their portal, and that you'll get a 5% commission back on sales. Well, Pixelfy Me allows you to put your associate's ID into that Pixelfy Me link. So now your Pixelfy Me link basically doubles as a Amazon Associates link. Pixelfy Me also, as the name states, doubles as a pixel. It's actually a link that acts as a pixel. So you can have data from that link go back to the ad manager and optimize the ad like it would with a pixel. Something else that's cool about Pixelfy Me is that it allows you to target keywords for ranking. So in that regard, it's a super URL or a two-step URL, as some may know. Pixelfy.me actually has, I think, over a dozen different links. They even have some for Walmart.com. They have all kinds of funky links, like add to cart links, frequently bought together links, like these different links that basically, help reach your goal of ranking for a keyword. So we like to use these links to not only track sales, earn commission, track clicks, but also to increase our organic search ranking for keywords. So for example, if we're running an ad on an energy drink and that product is on page 4 for energy drinks, well, we would set up that ad, that Pixelfy.me link to target the keyword energy drink. And now every time someone clicks it and purchases, it tells Amazon's algorithm that that purchase was done on the keyword energy drink. So it can help you increase your ranking. We should point out though that that is against Amazon's terms of service. So it's always going to be, your call as the brand owner or the store owner on whether you want to use those or not. I think the fact of the matter is they're used pretty prevalently amongst top Amazon sellers. But it is, I think, by Amazon considered search ranking manipulation. So, you can make your decision if you want to use that feature of it. You can use Pixelfy.me without targeting a keyword, and it wouldn't be against terms of service there. Yeah, and Daria, did I miss anything on Pixelfy.me?
So I wanted just to add that LendingCube actually released a new tool that is mirroring Pixelfy.me. And just to add, like LendingCube, I think it's also a great tool for coupon distribution, for promos distribution, where you can insert your Facebook pixel, you can insert your Google Tag Manager, you can insert your two-step URL, you can insert, and you can create links like on Pixelfy.me. LendingCube is a software to create landing pages specifically for Amazon. So I think that's another great tool that we can use.
Yeah, no, that's really good and definitely worth mentioning. All of these, tools continue to enhance on themselves and provide more features. We just mentioned a lot of different ways to track sales, and you're probably wondering, like, what's the best way? And to be honest, there isn't a one size fits all strategy. Otherwise, we would have just presented on the one size fits all strategy. So really, you just have to take a look at these different tools and tactics and figure out which one's going to work best for your objectives. And for example, Pixelfy.me helps with ranking, with organic ranking. So if your goal is to rank higher organically, and that's your primary goal, then you probably want to use the Pixelfy.me link. But if you're not so concerned with ranking, or maybe you don't want to worry about violating Amazon's guidelines on ranking using those links, maybe you want to use a program such as Amazon Attribution Beta or Amazon's brand store source tags, because these are Amazon approved, Amazon owned programs, right? So you're always going to feel pretty confident that you're in the in the green there with those. Amazon brand store would be good for driving to the brand store. Attribution Beta would be good for driving to a product page. So if you're trying to take people that are ready to buy, probably want to drive into the product page with the beta program. If you're trying to take people from an ad that aren't necessarily ready to buy and they might need some warming up, some brand awareness, you'll probably want to use a brand store source tag and drive them to the brand store. Or you'll want to use one of the landing page services such as LandingCube, drive them to the landing page, allow them to learn more about the product and the brand, and then from the landing page, drive them to the product page to make that purchase. So just consider what your goals are when you're using any of these different tools, and that should help with making a decision. Anything else that we missed, Daria, before we wrap up?
Yeah, I think just the native analytics platforms or Facebook and Snapchat, and just owning your data, understand where you are. And I think also understanding on which stage you are in your Amazon prosperity. Let's say if you're a smaller brand just starting, I think Zone Tracker will be too early for you. So make sure you have enough data, you have enough sales to start with certain tools.
Awesome. Yeah. Great stuff. Well, if anyone out there has any questions about this, feel free to leave a comment on whichever podcast channel you're watching or YouTube. Feel free to email us at social@vendocommerce.com or hello@vendocommerce.com, and follow us on social media. You could DM us on Instagram. We're at vendo.commerce. We're on Facebook, vendocommerce.com, TikTok, Pinterest. Someone will get back to you wherever you reach out. We'd love to help you. And thanks again for joining, and see you next week.
Yeah, thank you.